Alright everybody, it's the 404 guy here, 7he404guy, slightly anemic, and we're up with Kerbal Space Program again, because I've only just discovered I actually don't have any other games to play on this channel, so we'll be getting into that in just a moment here, but first...
Warning. This program contains coarse humor and a sense of language that some people might not share. Viewer discretion is advised. But I bet that just makes you want to watch it even more.
Alright, so last episode we set up our communication satellites network thing, whatever you want to call it. What the hell is this? Right, there's our three main satellites. What? Network, none. So I guess that means that these two are too far apart to communicate with one another. But lucky thing is we don't really need them to, just as long as one of them can communicate with a space probe that's going to Duna, which I am planning to implement a, at least some kind of, whatchamacallit, some kind of communication satellite specifically for the planet. What are these things? Bunch of asteroids. Alright. So this time, we're making some modifications to that communication satellite we launched last time. Actually, let's just load up Duma. We'll modify this. Because we need to get working on these missions here. Alright. Surface sample. It's not going to be for a while. We need to get into orbit, and we need to get into equatorial orbit. So we need something that has an antenna, can generate power, and it has to have a mystery goo. Alright, I think I can do that. Has an antenna, it has a bunch of them, but I'm going to replace those with more efficient ones. Get rid of those. Can generate power, definitely, definitely. And needs to have a mystery goo. That's under science here. Huh, we have a survey scanner. That's nice. Alright, we'll put two of these guys on. Just because we can. Nope, nope, nope. There we go. Alright, we got a couple of those. Now we just need the satellites. Transmission antennae. Where are they? Communications. That's only 2, this is 15, this is also 15. This requires significantly more electricity, so I might be bumping up the electricity on this. Holy shit. Yeah, maybe a lot. Here, let's move that down. This whole satellite base is a bit too small. Hold on. This is most unfortunate. I was hoping I could get away with what I had. Evidently I cannot. So let's adapt that up here. Oh, wait a minute. You know what? Screw this. We'll build a new one, because I just had a better idea. Alright, we'll start with this as a base. We'll build this out. Trust me on this. This is going to be a really good idea. It's going to be worth it 100% to build a brand new spacecraft just to launch a communication satellite to Duna. That's too much. That ought to work. Right, next we'll get that thing on here, this guy. Alright. Oop. There we go, perfect. Then we need some fuel. I like that fuel tank. No, I don't like that fuel tank. Sorry, I'm doing liquid fuel. This one. Yeah. much efficiency there. Right, because this is 800 seconds of a specific impulse, which is really good. Antennae, we'll just friggin' stick as many antennas on this thing as possible. That ought to work. Oh wait, that might be too much. Oops. Maybe the antenna, just the antenna. I'll put these down here, I guess. We just need to be able to put some additional fuel tanks on this thing. Alright, so if I do that, I should be able to put on some additional fuel tanks along the side here. Just using this. Alright. That'll work. The nose cone. Perfect. Right, so we do this, and then we add a fuel line going that way. And the central stack should just be reserve. It's the outside that's going to be spending all the fuel. Right, this looks off-centered. Oh shit, no, not that. Anything but that. These. No! God damn you. These. Come on. Alright. There we go. That's centered. Mostly. At the very least, it looks like it's going to hold. Plenty of electricity. More than enough communications potential. Let's put on our old stack separator there. Oop. Hey, look at the size of that thing. Jeez. Here's a standard stack separator. Alright, so currently it's a $50,000 thingy that doesn't do anything. That's what we're going to name it. I should probably have this on here. That just makes it overpowered AF. Alright, here we go. Here we go. This is what we need. We need this thing. However useful it is. Alright, there we go. Nice. Right, so we launch this thing. Eventually it'll get to Duna. How much does this weigh? We're basically throwing 33 tons in the air. Nice. That's way too small. Unfortunately, I don't have anything larger. Okay. Well, we'll put this on. Put that on, and we will top it with, I don't know, skipper or mainsail. Let's just, we'll see what this gets us. Because I kind of want to try and keep this below 100,000 if I can. Okay, where are we? We're pointing this way. That's the correct direction to be in. All right. All right, that ought to work. This is moving at a snail's pace. I have very low hopes for this mission. Suppose we can rotate our trajectory just a little bit here. Alright, I have almost no hope for this mission at this time. But I bet if I installed some outriggers along the outside of this, it would work just fine. Like what I've done with just about every other rocket. It's looking like it's going to be outriggers for the win. Provided this doesn't make it very far out of the atmosphere. It's a 30-ton vehicle. I have an engine on here that can provide 60 kilonewtons of force. So, unless this gets significantly far away from Kerbin, which I don't think it will get, it's not going to be sufficient to overcome the force of gravity. See that? Almost completely pointless. Though we have more fuel than we will ever need for any purpose. Right. Let's try something else here. I got another idea. Let us reduce this to 2. Only 2 of these, right? If there's only 2 of them, that's a lot less weight to consider. As for this, let's, yeah. We'll give it a little bit of an extra boost at the start here. Not the kickbacks. What are these? They're 2,000 apiece. These are only 850. Look at them. 850 and they get the job done. Let's make more of them. Make so many that it doesn't even make sense. There we go. There's 8 of those. That ought to handle it. So we've got 2 things in our favor right now. There's less weight and there is significantly more thrust. So let's do it. There we go. That's got some acceleration to it. So yeah, you'll notice I have a little note up in the top left that's asking for people to recommend video games. Because I literally have no other video games to play. So it's Kerbal Space Program for a while otherwise. Wow, alright. This is doing much better than I expected. Yikes. Alright, well, more than 1,000 meters per second and we're only at 20,000 meters. So clearly this has a lot going for it in terms of a design. If we can get that out over 1,000,000 meters, I think this will be a successful design here. And again, I have my doubts. It might not. It's just, it's fighting gravity so much right now. There's only so much it can do. Deploy that. That should help. Right? Probably. Alright, close to 1,000,000 meters. Not quite there, mind you. Let's, we'll see where this gets us anyway. I mean, this is just going to be nothing but sitting here watching this thing try and push itself into an orbit. I suppose I could test it with one of these. Right, how's that? That's 5 minutes. But that gets us to where we want to go. Right. How much fuel do we have? Oh, jeez. Way more than enough fuel, that's for sure. So we have 27 minutes of fuel. That's well more than what we need. Almost thinking we should just install a heat shield and do like do an atmosphere burn once we actually get there. Well, we'll see how this does. We have 37 minutes to figure it out. Sorry, 27 minutes. In the meantime, let's extend some of these antennae. Alright. This is going to be one of those failures on the first try. I can guarantee. Actually, just looking at it right now, did I forget the goo thing? No, I didn't. Literally just need to get into an orbit of Duna for this to be considered a successful flight. Alright, look at that. We're starting to overcome the force of gravity. That's good. Oh, God. This is going to take so long before it actually breaks the Kerbal sphere of influence. Oh, but hey, look at that. R2-B2's getting close again. I wonder if we'll ever communicate with it again. Look at this, we're barely even touching our fuel. That's how efficient this engine is. 800 second specific impulse. Like, it is literally the most overpowered engine in the game, and yet it produces such little thrust. There's kind of a trade-off there. You have to spend an insanely long amount of time with every single fuel burn, but at the same time, you have a lot more fuel to burn, basically. Alright, 2 million meters. Going at a rate of about 10,000 meters per second-ish. And we've got to go well beyond 46 million meters. This is going to take a while. This is going to take a while. What shall I do in the meantime? I think I could go through, like, find some music or something. Look at this. Look at it! What I used to do in university is I would, you know, while this was burning, I would just be doing my homework, you know? But obviously, if you're watching the stream, that would not be the most interesting thing to watch. The other sad part is I cannot switch away from this. Like, if I switch away from this spacecraft, then it's just gonna shut off the engine, right? You can't leave it burning for long periods of time because it doesn't keep itself going. Look at that, 4 million meters. It's increasing its altitude a little bit faster now. What we got here? Max acceleration 3.4 meters per second. We could burn it to 0 meters per second if we wanted to, actually. We have more than enough time. Anyway, Yeah, this once this gets out of the Kerbal sphere, that's going to be the most useful for us. Let's just point ourselves at the velocity vector there. That should help. What did I call this thing again? Super probe, that's it. Because it's super. Alright, passing 10 million meters. This is like watching grass grow. It's so much fun, isn't it? Oh wow, we've got encounter with the moon there. Hopefully we don't encounter it on the way out. Alright, this is going up a little bit faster now. That's good. That's what I like to see. Alright. This should put us outside of Kerbal sphere of influence. Easily. There we go. And I'm just going to let that increase a little bit further as well there. Let it build up that apogee. Actually, you know what? I shouldn't do that. It's not proper. I'll wait until I get to here. Bye-bye, Kerbal sphere of influence. These aren't blocked, are they? I hope not. Alright. So look at that. We haven't even used up half our fuel. Alright, that's what I mean when I say that this engine is extremely efficient. It is absolutely. Alright. Now, if we burn prograde here, it should just be a matter of time before we intercept our target planet here. I haven't done enough Duna runs to know exactly what angle is the best, but apparently this is. So we'll leave it at that. Look at that. Okay. 2 minutes of burn time. We got plenty of fuel. Let's warp there. So yeah, I guess for Duna, it's 120-ish degrees separation. But again, that depends on the starting altitude. Look at that. Not even a third of our fuel, not even an eighth. Signal strength is still 100%. Okay, this is looking good. So how close are we going to be anyway? We're going to be a little bit off. This is the designated orbit. We can reach that, no problem. Especially for passing by down here. Now that's going to be... That's 273, 5, and 57. 276, 2, and 8. So we should be able to... we'll have more than enough time to put ourselves into a stable orbit once we get there. Simple. Chorogon. There we go. All right. Antennas are still at 100%. How's that? We're still too close for it to really matter. Once we get a little bit further away, we're going to start picking up off either this comm thingy, probably not that one, possibly that one, right? About 180 degrees apiece, or it should be ideally, but it's not. So once we're able to jettison these fuel tanks, this will be a lot simpler. Or a lot more reactive, I should say. These weigh a lot. Alright, we're pretty close now. How close are we there? 17? That's pretty good. 17 is good. We'll need to adjust our inclination just a teensy bit here. Let's do that in focus. Focus view here, and I will adjust this accordingly. Let's see. Alright, we're also on the wrong side of the planet. We'll have to adjust for that as well. There we go. Bring it over there. And down a little. Right, that's okay. That's very nearly perfect. So let's point to our maneuver. 18 meters per second. I really think this could have bumped up the time warp a little bit more and still been accurate. That's just my thoughts. Bring it closer to the node as usual, as close as we can. Should be about 2 seconds, but this shouldn't be a problem either way. Alright, where is our target? There we go. How's that? That's closer, but not where I want to be. You know, just a little bit. Should be more or less on the line there. That'll work. Alright. That more or less intersects where we want to be. Let's, hold on. That's escape, so we want to get to encounter. There we go. And however long that takes. Now, I sometimes worry about the electricity, because that could very easily drop out. Although we're pointed enough north that it shouldn't be a problem. North relative to the surface of the sun. I guess normal, you would call it, normal to the orbit. You point yourself normal to the orbit, you should pretty much always have some sunlight, at least on one side of the spacecraft, so that's kind of useful to have there. Alright, here we go. Still at 97%, that's pretty impressive. Alright, here we go, here we go. So once we get to here, it's a matter of bringing the orbit in. Oh, sort of. Let's bring it this way a little. There. That's literally all we have to do. And then this mission is successful. That's 2 minutes of burn, 2.5. So we don't want to warp all the way to there. We want to warp a little bit ahead. So 2 days, 2 hours, 40 minutes. Let's warp there. Alright. Gives us 38 minutes to go. We will, of course, warp here. 25, that's close. This is actually a very, very agreeable tolerance right here. Alright, 9 minutes out of 12, that should work. That'll at least get us close to the node. And 2 minutes 46, divide that by 2, that's going to be, let's see, 1 minute and 23 seconds. is where we should start burning at. 1 minute 23. Let's just go. Alright. So hopefully by the time that finishes, that should bring us into a stable orbit very close to the one that's specified. Look at that communications hop. This thing is still like full 96%. I bet this satellite is communicating with this one to get there, right? This thing is so OP. I don't even know why I have these things. This thing could probably communicate with Kerbin from the other side of the solar system. Hello, Fallen Larry. Welcome to the chat. If you have any suggestions for other games that I could play on this channel, feel free to speak up. How's this gonna work? Ah, it cut itself short again, see? I knew that there was a problem with Streamlabs. Anyway, thanks for the follow, I really appreciate it. Streamlabs tells me that that works, but it just cut itself short, so that's supposed to carry on for about, like, several seconds. I guess it didn't. Nonetheless. Well, that puts me at 29 followers. I'm very close to that 32 target. That's one of those binary numbers that's fun to calculate with. Alright, this... Look at that, we haven't even burned through half of our fuel. That's why I recommend this engine. Like, the first second that you can buy the Nerve atomic rocket motor, whatever it is, the Nerve engine, the second you can afford it, just get it. Because 800 second specific impulse, it takes a long time to get anything done, but it is extremely efficient. If you think of like Carnot efficiency, right? Carnot efficiency is the theoretical highest efficiency that a machine can get, and that would be if it's done infinitely slowly, right? If the process of work is infinitely slow. So it makes sense that... Oh wow, look at that. It makes sense that the slower you go, the more efficient you're going to get, but unfortunately that's not exactly the case here. It's just a fun coincidence. Alright, so we've just completed 2 contracts at the same time. We've more than paid for the communication satellites that we sent up, so that's good. And we got this thing, which has direct to Kerbin 96%. 96% communication strength. I still have no idea what this KerbNet access does. Oh well. But yeah, that puts us into orbit of Duna. Next, we need to get science data from the surface, which should be a lot simpler now that we have something in orbit. Let's go back to the Space Center. I'm certain that we have some more science to collect. This is my second big recommendation that I always make. The second that you can afford it is to get the Mobile Data Processing Lab, because it's basically free science. It's a multiplier. Look at this. I didn't even have to do anything. It just takes longer, but you get way more science out of, like, I think that what's left here is just a pressure, a temperature, and possibly a mystery goo and a couple of crew reports or something. Let's transmit that. Alright, and can I level up the crew? No, I can't. I kind of want to put them on EVA. Right, so if I put them on EVA, I can get an EVA report. Right, we keep the report. We go back aboard. Oh, it doesn't let us. Darn. Alright, well then we'll transmit it. Good enough. Next up, Mobile Processing Lab on Minimus. This one's just great. And what data doth they have for me? I'm gonna have to go and get more data collection, I think. Let's transmit that. That's only 68. Is this person ready for leveling up? I bet they are. Nope. 0 experiments. This has 3. Oh my god. So the experiments that I have stored, this is a single experiment. This is a surface sample from Minimus, which would yield 150 science if recovered on the surface of Kerbin, but if processed in a mobile data processing lab will yield 940 science over 130 days or so. That's a no-brainer. The pressure scan, I think... Okay, here's another one, an EVA report. That's going to be worth 250. I don't know why the pressure scan doesn't work for some reason. I think maybe it's got to be on its own or something. But geez, this is... Okay, so this is now going to be worth a heck of a lot more. We just have to give it some time. Alright, back to Kerbin then. So I guess the next thing I gotta do is just push some fuel into orbit. Ah, we're so close. Close yet far. I can't afford any of these just yet. I gotta start thinking about what I want to get from the next level. There's only a few things I really need. One thing I haven't done in this game just yet is develop my space plane or airplane stuff. This is easy. Plant a flag on Minimus. I bet I could do that pretty easy. What does this want? This wants scientific data and enter the atmosphere. I can do that. Science data from space. 25. Yeah, I can do that. Alright. I think that's about all. I could bring an asteroid into orbit. Oh, but that's only 6 years. Now, I think I can finish these off pretty easily. What are the deadlines? 10 years, never, 25, and 23. So this one I gotta do first, which is gonna be sending scientific data from space. Oh, I can literally do that right now. Why am I waiting on it? Yeah, I'm on career mode. Let's see here. I need something... One of these has to have science package on it. I think this one has science. Yes, this has science on it. I always love it when those simple missions come up because it's basically just free money. So the rest of this is exploring Duna. That's going to be a lot of time in the process, I think. Although I'm surprised I managed to get to Duna in this episode after only like half an hour. Usually it takes me an hour. Though I am curious. I want to try and build a rover here. So if I wanted to build a rover, I can start with one of these, right? Rotate it down. Tell me if I'm doing this right. I've never done a successful rover on Kerbal Space Program. Turn off the toggle snap. There we go. There we go. And what else can we do here? Let's put one of these things on. It's a rover, so it needs electricity. Whoa, that's big. That's a lot of electricity there. That should keep it going. Couple of solar panels. We'll put a seat on it so that we can have a pilot controlling it. We'll put a seat like... I'll put 2 seats, why not? We'll do one seat like right there, facing the wrong direction so that whoever's trying to drive it, they're going to be screwed. Oh, I bet we could put one of those seismic doohickeys on there. We'll put an antenna on here, right about there. Leave it extended. Does this look like a decent... Oh, whoa, 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 hey, wrong place. What are we doing here? I don't want to be here. I didn't know it did that. Alright, so it doesn't let me put the crew on immediately. Let's, here. We'll put the crew on one of these things. Put this guy on. Let's just, we'll call it Rover Boy. Let's see how this works. I have a feeling that putting on that stability thing is going to be... Uh-oh. It crashed. Oh, no, it didn't. I freaked out for no reason. Right, I don't want this thing to screw with us at all. Wow, look at that. It works! Alright, let's, it looks so stupid, but it works. Alright, let's crash into a building here. Whoa! Alright. It spins out easily, but that can be fixed. Let's crash into the, crash into this building here. The administration building. How about that? We'll crash the administration building, or possibly jump over it. Or land at the back door. Oh crap. I think we lost our pilot. Alright, that's a successful rover. And anyway, next episode we'll maybe make some modifications to this and try shooting it at Duna, see what happens. But I think that's all for this episode for now. I'm tired, mildly anemic. About maybe I should eat something. So I'm gonna be tuning out for today then. That's everything for Kerbal Space Program. Thanks for whoever followed this stream. And feel free to keep watching, check out the YouTube channel, etc., etc. And yeah, I'll be back whenever's, I suppose. I think there's a schedule somewhere on here. Anyway, I'm the 404 guy, 7he404guy. Thanks for tuning in and have a great day. Why does Streamlabs screw with me? I mean, literally that follow notifier lasted for 3 seconds. It was supposed to be 7. I think they got a problem with their MPEG-4, or not MPEG-4, but their WebM VP8 codec. Well, it's supposed to be standard HTML, so I can't imagine.